Good morning everyone, today is another pre-maintenance checklist video, which means we're going over all of the different campaigns which are ending with this coming maintenance. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to go over is of course the new keyword. It is new_bounce_tech. Once you type that in, you're simply going to press escape, go to systems, get campaign items, and receive item account. Once you're over here, you'll be able to redeem 50 star gems as well as 3 rare drop rate plus 25% boosters, so make sure that you do use the keyword. The next thing I want to remind everyone is of course your mission pass. Please make sure to complete your mission pass before the maintenance, because on December 13th is when the mission pass ends, so you do want to make sure that you progress all the way to the end or as far as you can, and also redeem all the rewards, because after the maintenance we will get a new mission pass or season 27. Now the next thing I want to talk about is going to be the Growthment exchange as well as the Dreadscale exchange shop, mainly because this is where you can get your TA disc Bs as well as your TA disc Xs, and you really need to make sure that you do exchange for all of these because the drop rate for these are actually pretty low. On the first couple days I got pretty lucky with the disc Bs and they were dropping for me from Lucille Exploration. However, recently after spamming it for like the past 20 or 30 runs, I have not gotten any, so I don't know if I just got really lucky in the beginning or if Sega's nerfed some rates or what's going on, but nevertheless you definitely want to make sure that you do exchange your Growthment to pick up all of the disc Bs. Now it does cost 10 Growthment to exchange for one of these, and you are limited to 5 per week over here, so it'll cost you 50 for the melees, 50 for the range, as well as 50 for the techniques. But do keep in mind that you get 45 Growthment every single day for just doing Lucille Exploration once, because you get 15 from the clear bonus and then you get 30 from the daily reward. So farming up 150 Growthment is going to be very simple. However, something that is not as simple is going to be the Dreadscale exchange over here. As you can see right here, the TA customized disc X, you are limited to 1 per week for this CD over here, so this is going to be a very big bottleneck, especially if you plan to max out multiple skills. But the main limiting factor over here is going to be the Dreadscales. You're going to need 50 Dreadscales every single week to exchange for this CD. And even though they did buff the amount of Dreadscales that you get from farming the veterans as well as the starless enemy, like when you kill the starless enemy, you actually get 7 Dreadscales, I believe. I think that's the average, which is actually pretty nice. They used to give you like 3. So they did buff the amount of Dreadscales that you get from defeating those enemies, which is pretty nice. But nevertheless, it's still going to take a little bit of time, probably like an hour of farming in order to get 50 Dreadscales. Maybe a little bit slower if you're in a pug group or you're just playing with randoms. Maybe like 2 hours tops, I would say, in order to get 50 Dreadscales. But then again, we're talking about 2 hours within an entire week, so it shouldn't be too difficult, but you do need to make a little bit of time in order to actually farm these, because the only way to get the disc X's at the moment is through this exchange shop. I don't know of any other method to get these CDs, and you're going to need these disc X's over here in order to get the final level of your customized photon arts, so the level 10 version. As you can see, from level 9 all you need are discs A and B. However, to get the final level you are required to get 1 disc X. So I do recommend that you just start things early and start doing them now, since you can exchange 1 every single week. So you might as well do it now, because remember, every single photon art as well as technique, which is customizable, is going to require 1 of those CDs if you plan to max it out. The next thing I want to go over are some AC scratches which are going away. First of all is the accessory collection November 2023. So if there are any accessories that you wanted, you might want to pick them up soon, as once this goes away, prices are probably going to go back up. The second thing is going to be the SG support item select November 2023. As I said before, personally, I think this is a little bit too expensive for what it provides. However, if you do have an excess of star gems and you can afford it, then by all means you can scratch a little bit. But I don't really recommend the average player to scratch on this, simply because of how expensive it is. And in order to get the preset skill enhancement substitute, you do need to scratch 95 times, which is 4,750 star gems, which is a lot of star gems. Alright, with all that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about are the Arks records. Keep in mind that this week we have 2 Arks records going on. There is the Quarterstaff Solo, where it is exclusive to Bouncer. You have to play the Bouncer class in order to get participation reward or just participate at all. So, you know, I'm just going to be getting the participation reward or just get the 20 Arks record badges over here because, well, I don't have a Bouncer geared up. So I'm just going to use very default gear as well as the free gear basically in order to just participate and get these rewards over here. However, the Stia Outskirts Dash over here is available for all classes, so make sure that you do both of them because you do get 40 Arks record badges this week if you do both of them, which is pretty nice. Now, the reason why you want these Arks record badges is because they have refreshed all of the weapon camos. They have added an Alsanquim Almaty CV. I wanted this weapon camo for ages, and now I can just get it for 10 Arks record badges, which is really, really nice. Remember, it is available for all weapons, even though it says over here sword, wired lances, and others. It is available for all the weapons, so it's really nice. And it is a color variant as well. It's a purple and yellow, which is really, really fancy. We've also got some other weapon camos over here. Again, they are all color variants as well, which means they do change the color of your photon arts, so they all look really, really fancy. Now, of course, if you want the star gems, you can also pick this up. There's also the Renaissance Almaties over here. However, keep in mind that this is not a color variant. Arms refiners are honestly not worth picking up anymore because they've buffed the drop rate permanently for the arms refiners as well as the Golden Prim Swords 2 and Golden Prim Armors 2 in all of the combat zones. So just farm in any combat zone and you will get a ton of these arms refiners too, as well as regular arms refiners. So there is absolutely no need to waste your Arks record badges on these anymore. I would much rather have you waste your Arks record badges on star gems. Well, I mean, not really waste, but I mean, I'd rather have you use it on star gems because the star gems are just a little bit more valuable since you can farm arms refiners too relatively easily now. Another thing I want to remind everyone is the Giga Strugment exchange over here. Again, there are the disc A and Bs. You can skip the A's. There's absolutely no reason to pick these up. However, the B variants you might want to consider, even though they do cost quite a lot of Giga Strugments. They will cost you 50 Giga Strugments for 5 of the BCDs, which is asking for a lot considering Giga Strugments are a lot more difficult to obtain than Growth Mint. However, if you are farming a ton of Recon Gigantics or you've just been running a lot of purple triggers and you have a surplus of these Giga Strugments, or if you just really need these discs because you really want to max out your customized photon arts or your customized techniques, then by all means it's okay to pick these up. Just keep in mind that it does cost quite a bit of the Giga Strugments, so if you haven't farmed up a bunch of them, this might not be the best choice. Now, with all that out of the way, the next thing I want to talk about is of course the Aegis Integra exchange over here. Make sure to pick up all of your different Dominas over here because you know, we've been running a lot of Darkfall Solus, and so you probably have gotten a bunch of Neo A weapons which you can exchange into your Aegis Integras, considering that we actually have the double urgent quests going on right now where we can run the UQ twice and all of the bosses have minus 30% maximum HP, which makes it very, very easy to run. You should have a ton of Aegis Integras, so just make sure that you actually use these Aegis Integras and exchange for all of these goodies over here so that you can craft your Halphinales. Now, speaking about Halphinales, you can see over here the prices on Ship 2 have gone down significantly simply because people aren't really upgrading because, well, Sega just kind of gave everyone all of this free gear. So a lot of people are just using the free gear and they're just using LC capsules since there is a lot of campaigns revolving around Lucille exploration. So people are just running that and just using LC capsules instead. However, again, when we eventually get new gear, these prices will go up. And as always, the Halphinale prices have always been very volatile. They go up one week, they go down another week, so forth and so on. So it's never a bad idea to just craft your own Halphinale so that when prices are high, you can sell it for profit. And when prices are low, well, I wouldn't really buy or invest into Halphinales as they are pretty risky because they're always going up and down. But, you know, crafting your own is always the safest bet in my personal opinion. And last but not least, don't forget about your Alliance badges over here to exchange for your Star Gems. As you can see, I almost forgot, but we can actually pick up 30 Star Gems over here, so wabam, very, very nice. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.